Peace, Joe Baca Middle School. This is David Williams, aka D Will, and today I'll be talking to you about a day in the life of an entrepreneur. I am the co-founder of Untapped Hip Hop. We are a media agency. We started off as doing a magazine online called Untapped Hip Hop Magazine. From there, we grew into doing events out here in the Inland Empire, and now we're focusing more on helping young artists brand themselves, Emcees, painters, and artists inspired by hip-hop culture, helping them step up their social media game and brand themselves as artists, so we can provide a platform for them to showcase their work. I have some questions here provided to me. I'm gonna go ahead and run these down, so bear with me as I go through them. Question 1: what is my educational background? To be honest with you, I do have a 4-year degree from the Art Institute Inland Empire. I do have a bachelor's in art, but I kind of went through, different schooling at the time. A lot of it, when I first started, I started out at Chaffee College, community college. I was on and off there for maybe 2 or 3 years, and, I ended up dropping out, decided to go into the workforce, and after a while, I was unemployed. And I started thinking about what I really wanted to do, and I ended up signing up to go to the Art Institute of Inland Empire, and I stuck that out for 4 years, and I graduated with my bachelor's in arts. Question number 2: experience in college, whether you lived on campus or not. I did not live on campus. I, at the time, was living with my mother. And, I suggest if you have the option to do so, definitely stay at home and go to college, because it'll save you a lot of money in the outcome. College is expensive. Even room and board, I believe you have to pay for that as well. So if you have the opportunity to go to college and, be at home, I suggest you guys do that, because in the long term, it'll save you a lot of money that you can invest in yourself or save up and invest in other forms of stocks or whatever it is that you want to put your money in. But definitely, if you have the option, stay home and go to college. Question number 3: how long did it take me to accomplish my degree? Like I said, it took me 4 years. If you want to count the Chaffee College situation, maybe, 7 years, but I say for the bachelor's, because, I did earn that. 2 years for my associates, 4 years for my bachelor's, and yeah, I'm proud that I was able to accomplish that. I'm one of few in my family who do have a degree in college, so that's something that I'm kind of proud of as well. Question 4: what are some of the things that you do at your job? Like I said, I am a media agency, so we do go to a lot of events. We do photography for local events. We interview artists for our YouTube channel. We work on our quarterly magazine, so we reach out to a lot of poets. We reach out to a lot of graphic artists, a lot of Emcees, anybody who's interested in being on our platform. We were, capable, or we've had the pleasure to work with a lot of artists, inspired by the culture outside of the United States as well. So, like an average day at our job is, doing a lot of reaching out, checking my emails to see who's interested in being interviewed, And scheduling, we have to make sure our schedule's on point at all times, because if we, when we lock something in, we got to make sure that we uphold our end of the bargain and make sure we come through for our for the artists who reached out to us. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do at my job. I did graduate, like I said, with a bachelor's as a graphic designer, so I do a lot of designing for the magazine, and editing, interviews for the YouTube channel. We do a lot of we do our podcast. We reach out to a lot of different artists, and it's just it sounds, I don't know, it might sound boring to you, but I thoroughly enjoy it because I get to meet a lot of interesting people and learn what it is about this culture that motivates them to keep going, and that in turn motivates me to keep doing what I do as well. So yeah, it's that's pretty much what I do, as co-founder of Untapped Hip Hop. How long have I been at my job? 5 years now. We started Untapped Hip Hop 5 years ago, and like I said, it was just started off as an online magazine, and it snowballed and evolved from there. But currently we've been actively doing this 5 years. Maybe it was an idea for another 2 years, but ideas are just ideas until you make them happen, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say 5 years we've been doing this. I forgot to say which question or the number of the question I'm on, so I'm just gonna not do that right now. I'm just gonna read the question from here. Is there room to grow in your industry? Of course, there's tons of room to grow. And I don't want to sit here and tell you guys that it's a straight line up to the top to grow. Sometimes you have to branch off like a tree, and kind of figure your way out from there. But it's there's a lot of different routes we could have taken that we didn't. A lot of different routes that we should have taken that we didn't. But we are growing as a company. We've built a lot of close connections with people and supporters who look at us and see what we're doing, and they really like it. So as long as you stay open-minded and don't think that there's only one path to get to your goal, there's definitely room to grow in this industry if you want to be an entrepreneur or anything. Not just an entrepreneur. If you want to be, whatever your dream job is, don't think that there's just one path to get there to grow. Always stay open-minded. Always, look for an open way to get there. And not all paths are easy, but sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to grow as well. So think about it as I gotta find the easy way to get there. Just think of it as I gotta find the experience to get there. And like I said, sometimes gaining that experience might not be comfortable, but if you learn from it, you'll definitely get to where you need to be. What are some of the exciting things you have done at work? The most exciting thing I think I've done at work is, like I said in the last answer, was getting out of my comfort zone. I am a natural introvert by nature. I hate talking, to people. Not hate, I'm not gonna say I hate talking, but I'm uncomfortable with my speaking skills sometimes when I interview a lot of artists. And jumping into this industry, I had to develop that skill to go out there and speak to people. And every time I interview a new artist, I feel like I'm, I guess, gaining experience points and leveling up each time I interview somebody new. And then starting the podcast, it allows me to open up to people and let them know, you know, what I've gone through and how I've evolved as a person. So I guess the most exciting part of what I do is learning who I am and learning who other people are and evolving as a person. So I don't know if that's a solid answer for you guys, but that to me is the most exciting thing I've done or that I'm able to do with my job. And yeah, it's I enjoy it. Some words of advice for the students over at Joe Baca Middle School. I guess I'll start off by saying I have one regret that I live with right now because I was too focused, or not, I'm not gonna say. I have one regret that I have to live with at the moment because I was too focused on not being good enough as an entrepreneur or as a person. And I lost out on a relationship that I probably shouldn't have lost out on. And that mindset of thinking that you're not good enough is poison. It's not good for you. It's not healthy. It's not the fact that I wasn't good enough. It's the fact that I didn't, my insecurities and my weaknesses took over, and I couldn't communicate who I really was at the time. And I thought I had to build myself to accomplish that goal. But in reality, it was just me overthinking what it is that wasn't there. I was overthinking negative thoughts that didn't really exist. So I lost out on something that I probably shouldn't have. And now I have to live with that regret. So my word of advice to you is, whether the outcome of what you want to do is good or bad, do it anyway. Do it anyway, because living with that regret of like, what if, is probably the worst feeling in the world. So if you have dreams of being an artist, show people your work. Go out there, reach out to a artist that you admire and show them your work. If you have dreams of being, you know, a MC, you know, put your work out there. Let people hear what you're talking about. Don't be afraid to be you, because at the end of the day, being you is the best thing that you can do. And you know, just I guess from my experience, I don't want you guys to end up, you know, with a regret like I have to live with at this moment in my life. So yeah, that's about it for this video, I guess video interview or video Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, if you guys in the future, if you guys are young artists or young MCs or just anybody inspired by hip hop in general, feel free to reach out to us. Let us listen to your music. Let us showcase your artwork, and I look forward to hearing, you know, how this went for you guys. Peace, and remember, tap into your potential.